Performing Gaming 420.
Nothing can compare to who could have been.
The lower jaw, and we had collarbone and one of the bones of the forearm. So that was really, really exciting.
We have a skull, we have a mandible, we have a complete scapula, we have a complete clavicle, we have a complete arm, a complete hand, and half of the pelvis, which we can, with reconstruction, make to a whole pelvis.
Will these skeletons live up to their promise, offering us a new understanding of the dawn of humanity? In August 2013, South African Pedro Boshoff was out of work. He had been a soldier, a prospector, an adventurer, and even a part-time student of human origins. Now he wondered if he could earn some money doing what he loves most, fossil hunting.
Towards the end of August, I approached Professor Lee Berger asking if there would be the possibility of a position at faculty with him.
Pedro Boshoff came into my office and said, you know, I really need work. I need to, and I have the same belief as you that there's more out there.
Lee Berger started exploring the area of South Africa known as the cradle of humankind in the early 1990s. After 18 years of searching, he had found only a few isolated fossils. That's not unusual in the field of paleoanthropology.
These early human fossils are probably the rarest sought-after objects on Earth. We in paleoanthropology sit in one of the few fields that probably have more scientists studying objects than there are objects to study. In fact, the vast majority of people who do what I do will never find a single piece of one of these early humans. And if they do, it's going to be an isolated tooth. Probably 80 to 90% of our record are just little bits of isolated teeth.
Just to the northwest of Johannesburg, the cradle of humankind is riddled with limestone caves. Some have already yielded fragmentary fossils of our remote ancestors. Lee was convinced there were more discoveries to be made.
I'd known Pedro for 20 years. And I said, you know, go out there and list your caving buddies, get underground, and see if you can find something. And so I bought Pedro a motorcycle so he could move around out here.
Basically, what he wanted me to do is to go through the cradle area, locating and finding fossils. So I sat, as I often do, on a rock, and I contemplated how I'm going to approach this. And then it dawned on me, I'm part of a caving society, having caved in this area for years. And in that, I found Rick and Stephen. I asked them to systematically work their way through caves and holes towards the east of the cradle while I was busy working in the west.
We often don't look in the places that are most familiar to us because we think we know them well. I call it backyard syndrome. And so I said, you know, start right under our noses. Go to the most well-known places.
On September the 13th, 2013, Rick and Steve decided to look into a
Performing Gaming 420.
Nothing can compare to who